This story comes out of Tennessee. Tennessee bill that allows students to report professors who teach divisive concept passes House and Senate. Divisive, huh? So what this is teachers and professors who's teaching history about the way black people are treated in this country, they calling that divisive. They don't want their kids to learn what type of savages they were. Just demons. They're trying to erase the history. All right, let's get into this. Divisive concept. Rules are a set of laws passed last year that include many concepts usually taught in courses like sociology, psychology, and political science. Nashville, Tennessee editor's note. An editor version of this story incorrectly said the bill was deferred to 2024. It was updated to reflect that it passed the House and Senate. So that's going in effect now. It sounds like a page out of Ron DeSantis' book down in Florida. They don't want to teach the real history about the way they treated black people, all the massacres and slavery and Jim Crow and redlining. Excuse me. A bill that made its way through the Tennessee legislature aims to strengthen rules passed last year that can change how schools approach teaching many kinds of lessons in social justice, racial inequity, political science and social work, psychology, and many other fields. The bill passed the House of Representatives on April 13th after passing Senate on April 5th. In 2022, lawmakers passed rules that allow state leaders to withhold funding for schools that teach about social, cultural, and legal issues related to race and racism. Most of these concepts focus on how the impact of racism affects people today. The law also specified schools can teach about ethnic groups, histories, as described in textbooks and instructional materials. Educators can also only teach about controversial aspects of history such as racial oppression or slavery, as long as those discussions are impartial. Long as they're impartial. Right. The bill HB 1376 was introduced by Representative John Reagan, a Republican out of Oak Ridge. He previously said that the new bill was meant to strengthen the law passed in 2022 by promoting freedom of expression and keep colleges about advancing knowledge, not about advancing political or social agendas. These people are something else. Originally, the bill required institutions to publish a syllabus for each course offered in the semester on its website, meant to assess whether a divisive concept may be included in the curriculum. The requirement was removed in amendment to the bill. The bill restricts universities. What is that? The bill restricts universities from using state funds for meetings or activities of an organization that endorses or promotes a divisive concept. It also requires employees who support diversity initiatives to increase intellectual diversity and support students through monitoring, career readiness, and workforce development initiatives. Employees would be exempt from the requirement, and the new duties conflict with other laws such as a Title IX officers. It also allows students and employees who believe that the school violated last year's law a chance to file a report with the school. The school would then need to annually report violations to the controller of the Treasury. redacting them as needed to stay in compliance with the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act. The bill would also specifically require universities to allow any guest speakers on campus, regardless of nonviolent political ideology or nonviolent political party affiliation. The concepts that were banned from lessons in 2022's law are listed below. That one race or sex is inherently superior to another race or sex. That a person by virtue of their race or sex is inherently privileged, racist, sexist, or oppressive, whether consciously or subconsciously. That a person should be discriminated against or receive adverse treatment because of their race or sex. That a person's moral character is determined by their race or sex. That a person by virtue of their race or sex bears responsibility for actions committed in the past by other members of the same sex, same race or sex. That a person should feel discomfort, guilt, anguish, or another form of psychological distress because of their race or sex. Oh, you sensitive because your grandparents were racist. That's all that shit is. That a meritocracy is inherently racist, sexist, or designed by a particular race or sex to oppress members of another race or sex. That Tennessee or the U.S. is a fundamentally or irredeemably racist or sexist, promoting or advocating the violent overthrow of the U.S. government, promoting division between or resentment of a race, sex, religion, creed, nonviolent political affiliation, social class, or class of people, ascribing character traits, values, moral or ethical codes, privileges, or beliefs to a race or sex or to a person because of their race or sex. That the rule of law does not exist, but instead is a series of power relationships and struggles among racial or other groups. That all Americans are not created equal and are not endowed by their creator within certain unalienable rights, including life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That governments should deny to any person within their jurisdiction the equal protection of the law. It also bans lessons that include race or sex, scapegoating, or race or sex stereotyping, as those terms are defined in law in October 2022. A group of UT faculty called the law chilling and questioned the law's intent. Republican Justin Jones, Democrat from Nashville, spoke about the bill when he returned to the House of Representatives after he was expelled and reinstated. He asked a series of questions such as whether college students are mature enough to talk about race and systemic racism, some of the concepts you want to prohibit being discussed at the college level. I believe in God. All else is settled by facts and data, Reagan said. Jones again asked him to answer the question, but Reagan said he responded to the question. So we're playing not answer. Okay, Jones said. Justin Jones, that's the guy everybody been talking about. One of the guys from Tennessee too. He's black and Filipino, I believe, out of Oakland. He also asked why the bill was introduced and said it seemed based on white fragility and fears of the truth of history. That's exactly what it is. This bill was brought to me by a dean of college education in addition to another university contributed to this bill. That was my motivation too, Reagan said. He also said he did not want to name the person who brought the bill to him. How will we be How will we be honest about our history if you're prohibiting any concepts about America's racist history? Jones said. This sounds like fascism. This sounds like an authoritarianism. This does not sound like democracy or freedom. This matter has consistently invoked God to justify this unjust, immoral, and extreme racist law. Okay, so this brother, he's speaking pretty good. I like some of the things he's saying in this article. We've been giving him a hard time lately, but I like that. Speaker Cameron Sexton, Republican from Crossville, stopped Jones from speaking. Representative Justin Pearson, Democrat from Memphis, also spoke after being reinstated to the House. This is a deeply concerning bill because it's continuing a pattern of practice that is harmful to all people, he said. When you try to control what persons thinks, then you are assuming that the role of God rather than allowing freedom of thought. He said that the list of divisive concepts bars discussion on bias, while privilege and racism role in slavery. The bill passed by a vote of 68 to 26 in the House. During a meeting on March 13th, Reagan said he received complaints from universities in the state about an overemphasis of the original law at the expense of intellectual diversity, which led him to proposing the new bill. Representative Harold Love Jr., Democrat from Nashville, previously asked if a conference focusing on black history could still be held and promoted by a university should the bill pass. Reagan said it would be allowed as long as they are not required to promote or endorse. I guess that's the end of the article. Yeah, they're trying to erase the past. They're trying to erase the past and how cruel they were to black people. That's all that shit is. They don't want their kids learning how vicious and wicked they are. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell and let me know what you think in the comments.